The Supreme Court of Florida is now in session. The Honorable Chief Justice Charles T. Kennedy presiding.
Good morning. The first item we take up now is a judicial reprimand arising from an inquiry concerning Circuit Judge Scot Cupp. Judge Cupp, you were called before the court today because of misconduct under the Code of Judicial Conduct. This is a difficult day for you, for us, and for the entire state judiciary. Whenever a judge violates the requirements of the code, damage is done to the public trust and confidence in our state courts. I know that you recognize that this is a very serious matter. As judges, we enforce the rules of the law on the litigants who come before us. As rule enforcers, we must be rule followers. When judges fail to follow the ethical rules to which they are subject, the integrity of our system is brought into question. The effectiveness of our judiciary ultimately rests on the trust and confidence that the people confer upon judges. Although we cannot roll back the clock and undo your misconduct, we have commanded you to appear today for a public reprimand as one way of redressing your violations of the code. By doing so, we assure the public that we take misconduct by a judge very seriously and that we will not hesitate to punish errant judges in a most public way. Judge Cupp, you have stipulated to the charges against you and therefore publicly acknowledged your misconduct. You also agreed to this public reprimand. According to the stipulation you reached with the JQC, you admitted that in the lead up to the 2020 election for Hendry County Court Judge, you began contacting individuals you knew in the county to inform them that you were supporting the incumbent judge's opponent because of concerns you had heard about the incumbent. Your preference for the incumbent's opponent eventually became widely known in the community. You admitted that you contacted influential members of the Hendry County community and expressed your preference for the incumbent's opponent in that judicial race. In some instances, you specifically requested that the community members support the candidate you favored. This contact was inappropriate and violated Canons of Judicial Conduct 1, 2B, 7A, 1B. It damaged the integrity of the judiciary by creating the appearance that you were interceding in a judicial election. You have also admitted that you violated Canon 7 and Chapter 106 Florida Statutes during your 2020 reelection campaign. Specifically, you failed to officially designate a campaign account and treasurer with the Division of Elections prior to receiving any contributions or issuing any funds. This conduct further damaged the public's perception of the judiciary. To your credit, Judge Cupp, upon being presented with the notice of investigation, you took immediate responsibility for your conduct. You did so in both your written response and during sworn testimony before the JQC. You admitted that your conduct was inappropriate and violated Canons 1, 2, and 7. You have expressed regret that your conduct damaged the integrity of the judiciary and the public's perception of the judiciary. In considering this matter, the court has also weighed the fact that you have no prior discipline imposed by the JQC. You have been licensed to practice law for over 34 years and have had no prior disciplinary history with the Florida Bar. The JQC was also persuaded that you will never again engage in such misconduct. In keeping with our own view of the record and your stipulation, we required you to appear before the court for this public reprimand. This reprimand, like every reprimand, should serve as a sober warning to any judge who does not take seriously the obligations imposed by the code. Judge Cupp, for your violations of the Code of Judicial Conduct, you are hereby publicly reprimanded. We trust you will faithfully follow the obligations imposed on you by the code from this day forward. As our case law establishes, and as you well know, any future misconduct will be viewed far more harshly. Thank you. That concludes this reprimand. the court will now prepare to take up the next case on our docket.